I have an older sister. I have an older sister who has always fantasized about me killing her babies. It seems to me that she keeps having babies in the hope that I will kill them. And I've always been one to repress my base desires. First to acknowledge them, like, ooh, to be the waving wheat, reduced to grain by the big shiny teeth of a combine harvester. Then to deride them like, oh, stupid combine, oh, stupid wheat. Then to treat them like a threatening metaphor that passes through my life, like, uh-oh, here comes the combine, better hide my wheat. In these fantasies, the significance of the combine harvester remains a mystery. But it's very easy to imagine the waving wheat as a symbol of something else. Perhaps its meaning is very simple, perhaps it's more esoteric. But either way, I've trained myself to be watchfully ashamed and self-effacing about metaphors having to do with wheat. My sister has never followed this logical and civilized pattern. And if she were me, she'd have moved to farm country the first chance she had. And that's why she's always been pretty shameless about trying to make me kill her babies. The first time, she was new to the scene, and we were both quite young. I was 6 and my sister was 9, though to her credit, she was a curvy 9, not like me, who squares off at all the wrong spots. I think the father's name was Lorenzo. He loved my big sister so much, he plowed her down behind some bushes and drove himself insane inside her. My sister didn't experience the joy he felt until her belly started to grow. It occurred to her that the thing she'd always wanted necessitated the thing that Lorenzo had done first. I learned later in life that the thing she'd always wanted since early childhood was for me to kill her baby. The fantasy kept her up at night. She'd toss and turn and pull at her crotch in frustration. She wondered if grown-ups were allowed to know these pleasures. We shared a bedroom, and on some particularly gothic nights, my big sister would find herself sleepwalking and sleep-crawling into my bed. I'd wake to find her straddled on top of me, moaning, and I remember it scared me. I remember feeling that such things should not happen in the middle of the night between two sisters. And I remember screaming and crying and begging for our mother. Our mother would save me from the thing that my sister was doing, and my sister would apologize and beg for forgiveness. Mostly, she felt so sad and hopeless because the thing she really wanted would never, ever happen. We could not speak these desires out loud. I learned many years later, when my mother was dying, that she too had always fantasized about me killing my sister's babies. It was only on her deathbed, in the gaps between television commercials, that my mother could confess her lusts. She would die horribly unsatisfied. In the old days, though, when my sister and I were still just kids ourselves, the two of them secretly and separately hoped that I would somehow kill Lorenzo's baby. My sister tried everything under the sun. She'd walk close behind me every time I climbed a set of stairs in hopes that I might accidentally push her down. And I still climb stairs very cautiously to this day. She would hide under couch cushions that I might haphazardly sit on her pregnant belly, but she was fairly conspicuous and I could always see her. Every time I handled any kind of sharp object, my sister's bulbous frame came hurling towards me without fail, and I stopped buttering toast altogether. I was not certain back then that my sister was intentionally putting herself in peril, but I knew instinctually that I had to make my own movements gentle and slow in order for this baby to survive. I decided that I must never move in haste. I also believed, for a very long time, that pregnant women had no control over their bodies, that at any moment a pregnant woman could walk through the door and fling herself onto a bed of nails. I imagined it had something to do with one of God's many human tests, and that it was up to the rest of us to pad and cushion the world, and in particular, it was up to me.